Now the recording's in progress.
Luke Summerhays scarcely could have believed, in the final years of his mid-30s, that across the timeless worlds of the internet, minds immeasurably superior to his regarded his podcast and rolled their eyes.
That sounds like a good review. Is that one of our reviews on iTunes by chance?
I've never read the reviews for this podcast, Matthew.
They're eating the data. They're eating the data. They'll eat you too.
All right, I think I should do some explaining briefly for the listeners. This is my birthday episode, and on our birthdays we get to pick a film. And I thought, because I'm a big fan of H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, and because in me and Matt's previous life as the Sci-Fi Sanctuary, we covered the 1953 George Powell, but we never got around to the 2005 Tom Cruise. Oh, I'll do the 2005 War of the Worlds film, but the little twist will be, three different War of the Worlds films came out in 2005, so we'll cover all three of those. And then almost immediately after I expressed that plan to Mark and Matt, the 2025 War of the Worlds came out, and it was a Films and Filth emergency. So,
Emergency podcast.
yeah. So we are going to talk about a lot of different adaptations of War of the Worlds today, but don't worry, we're getting to that one.
Yeah, I think Mass and Jay both requested this on,
Yeah.
on a different podcast, and I was like, oh, should I tell them? Nope. They're just going to find out like everybody else. Surprise. It's surprise. It's a 2.5 rated movie that's got 37,000 votes. So it absolutely would be like around the place we are now on the bad list if we did this after now.
Yep.
Yeah. This number one with a bullet. Probably not number one, but I think 1.2
No,
is the lowest or something. Yeah.
it's a no Smolensk.
It's no Smolensk. Okay, got you. But it does have some
It is propaganda.
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
yeah, we'll get into it later, but like, I had a fun time watching the Ice Cube movie, but I do hate it, and I think it's evil.
That
I
sounds
need to go
like
take
about my
some. I need
take.
to go take some eggs off the boil.
That's a real life comment. That's not a metaphor for
Yeah,
anyone
it's
that's
not a
interested.
metaphor. He's gonna take his balls off of the
I mean, I guess
off of
my
the heat source.
I guess my quick review for the new one would be, here we go. Mark, it's like when I used to live in Atlanta. It's like watching you trying to fix your mom's computer. That's the new War of the Worlds.
But my head would move in a very mechanical way. Have either of you guys done any video editing?
Yeah, I
You
Very
have,
do a lot
small.
right?
of video editing.
Well, it's like, you know how when you want an object to move from one place on the screen to another, like in a specific time, you want it to like, you don't want it to just move in like just a straight line. You want to do like a sort of little curve so it feels natural. Every pan in the Ice Cube movie is just like, it's like a robot is like looking around while Ice Cube is using a computer. It is so insane. Yeah, I have so much to say about that it is. I have stuff to say about the Spielberg one too.
All
Hmm.
right, well let's start off with our history with War of the Worlds, because I grew up in a household which, for whatever reason, are big fans of the musical. Um, so I used to listen. My dad had the vinyl set, which that comes with the big book with the like massive vinyl-sized paintings of the scenes.
I have that somewhere.
Yeah, so listening to that and looking at those when I was like 9 years old or whatever, obviously had a huge impact. Um,
See, my house didn't have that. We had the Rick Wakeman albums, like the Henry VIII thing and the Journey to the Center. You're right there. There's a little Vern in there. And then Jesus Christ Superstar, that was around the house. But I don't even know if I knew about this one that much until you started talking it up. I mean, I know it is well known. It was just a hole in my,
hmm.
knowledge of 70s music. But
Well,
yeah, it just always flew over my radar or around my radar or something.
it's from my perspective, it's just one of those things that comes up in dollar bins a lot, and it looks really cool. Like if you've never seen it before, just look up a picture of the album cover. It's this big thick thing that looks cool. So you're probably gonna pick it up if it's like under $5,
Yeah, I
just
don't
because it
have your
looks cool.
vinyl sized paintings, but I do have the soundtrack. I have the recording on my computer. I've listened to it a few times in the past few years. I do like it now. I just didn't know about it when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's like
But
a sick prog rock style drawing of one of the alien ships, like, you know, pissing fire onto a cruise boat.
There we
It looks
go.
amazing.
this is my t-shirt from the live tour.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah, I was born in Chertsey and lived in Woking until I was 5. So I literally am from where H.G. Wells is from. There's a life-size metal statue of one of the tripods in the high street in
That's
Woking.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I got super into the book later, and then by the time the Tom Cruise film came out, I was very excited for it.
I like I don't know, like many kids who grew up loving sci-fi and like my mom encouraged it at least.
Mm.
It's like I watched the movie on TV pretty often, and that was kind of like for an older movie that movie's pretty sick. Like it's pretty brutal, you
it
There's
all,
know?
a
I remember
lot that I
watching.
like about the George Powell movie. It's just because I grew up very familiar with the source material. Like, I think it kind of misses the point. Not as much as
Well,
some of the ones we'll get to today.
No, I remember going straight to that one, the VHS self at the rental place, because I was like getting like kind of like wanting to watch like weird 50s sci-fis when I was, 8 years old or whatever, which,
Hmm.
that probably makes sense for me. I do remember at the time thinking the George Powell one was like a little slow, but had cool visuals. And then I didn't watch it for another
yeah.
20 years after that. So, I do remember the VHS box for that one. It had a picture of the tripods, like, and then the rest of the box was this crazy like silver. Mark, you remember what I'm talking about?
I don't think I ever it came on TV so much. I don't think I ever rented it because I feel like it was just on a lot. Like it just, I'd say for an old movie, I don't know, like sci-fi of that era wasn't as deep as it should have been usually,
Mm.
but it did like it had kind of a bite that a lot of stuff didn't. You felt it felt like people were being exterminated, where sometimes stuff from that era is a little bit softer. But I did read the book once when I was a kid and should probably reread it. But I really enjoyed it.
See, I
I
made a
remember enjoying
whoopsie
it.
with a book. They had a book fair at my elementary school. And I was in the fourth grade, and that's one of the ones I bought because I was like, "Oh, this is a real book. It's not just like Marmaduke or something, right?"
Mm.
But I was probably 1 year too young to properly read it because I would have been like 9 or 10, and 11, 12, you're right in the zone. 9, 10's a little bit on the, I
My
don't know.
first
It
reading
didn't
of the
quite
book,
get.
because it's 100 years old, it's just online for free. So I
Yeah.
read it like that. And then I've bought a couple of copies, I think, over the
Mm.
years. But
Yeah, so
also, the book, The War of the Worlds, was written at the height of British Empire as a deliberate exercise in, hey, this is what it would feel if Britain was treated the way it treats other countries. Um, and then watching the Steven Spielberg, Tom Cruise 2005 War of the Worlds, I did get a bit of that feeling of like, this is America being treated the way America treats other countries. Like the atmosphere of it and the tone, and then they're talking about like occupation, and like the son like wants to get back of them, but he's like impotent to do so. The reason the 2005 Tom Cruise one doesn't work is the Tom Cruise of it all.
yeah,
But the
I was
point of War
watching.
of the
Yeah.
Worlds, the main character isn't like he's nobody, right? He's just an observer.
Mm.
But Tom Cruise cannot be on screen and not be the main character. And there's scenes where like everyone pulls together to pull Tom Cruise out of the machine because they can just tell he's the lead.
Yeah, that's the problem. The main problem I have with that version is that Tom Cruise is he's basically an action hero, but it's just the movie tells you he's an action hero. It's you don't see him doing like spectacular things. He doesn't have a background in the Marines. Like this would have been better if it was Schwarzenegger. I'm not just
He
saying that
gets to
because it's
run
your
a lot.
birthday, Luke.
Oh, interesting.
But no,
Okay,
it would have been like better if it was Schwarzenegger in one sense. It would have been actually better if it had been just like someone a little bit B-list or C-list.
Bill Paxton is what I was mentally
Yeah,
pasting watching it last night. It's like in 2005, Bill Paxton would have been the perfect
Hmm.
lead for this. Again, Tom Cruise, I mean, as far as like how Tom Cruise skill level, he's fine in it, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
it is
it's not
miscasting.
anything in Tom's performance.
Yeah,
It's just Tom's
he's the wrong guy, which
presence, right?
it is
Everyone else on screen acts like he's Tom Cruise,
It
and the
it
script
won't
acts
commit.
like he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it won't commit to him either being like a regular schmuck or an action hero. It's like this sort of
It's
and
like,
and
oh, he's canonically a regular schmuck, but he's played by Tom Cruise, so he's an action hero.
yeah.
it's almost like I usually hate stuff like this, but it almost would have been better if he had a speech where he's like, I'm just a regular guy just trying to get through this war of the worlds or something. You know?
Also, one of the things that lets that film down is Spielberg just could not help himself, but everyone lives happily ever after at the end, even
Mm.
the son
Yeah.
who clearly died on screen.
Yeah, but yeah, the scene when the son just kind of like stands up and Tom Cruise is just kind of like taken aback because his son is an adult and he's like, You have to let me go." That was like such an incredibly well filmed scene, and it
Hmm?
reminded me how bad the thing in Man of Steel was, where Kevin Costner was like, "Let me die, son. Wait."
For no
Um,
particular reason.
and and it's like, yes, it that is diminished by him living, but it was still like reminder that Steven Spielberg is just the fucking best.
But I
It
guess
made
that
me really want to sit down and talk to Steven Spielberg as well, because the way this film criticizes the sort of American occupation makes me very interested what his actual opinions are on current events.
Um, I bet if he hasn't talked about current events,
His opinion is
then
not one I want to hear. You are, yes.
no, I was going to say that his opinion may not be one that his family or somebody, his opinion may not be one that someone wants to hear, and he may
That's
just be
true. That's true.
diplomatic. We don't
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really
he
know.
keeps it classy in that way.
Um,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
because I
keeps it
can't find much
quiet.
on the way of what he thinks.
sort of the
Yeah,
original sin of that
it's
2005 movies. I believe it was like, Tom Cruise and Spielberg did Minority Report, which was a perfect fit, right? And
Mm,
it was like, let's do another one. And, the way schedules worked out. And this was basically Cruise's baby, right?
well,
oh yeah,
He was
because
in the
definitely
pilot
remember
seat.
hearing at the time the reason it's got such a like dad protecting his kids angle was because that's what Cruise was caring about at the time.
Right.
well,
So it's kind of Spielberg, like as a collaborator, but slightly more of the hired gun than usual because it's kind of this is Cruise's production.
this is a very interesting thing that I did not know, but he loved working with Tom Cruise. Steve Spielberg loved working with Tom Cruise on Minority Report. After this movie, he said he wasn't going to work with him ever again, partly because he was supposed to be at that Oprah interview where Tom Cruise jumped on the couch, but he like didn't make it for some reason. And then Tom Cruise embarrassed himself horribly. But also, and this is the thing that hits me like a ton of bricks, is that Steven Spielberg mentioned a psychiatrist friend of his in Tom Cruise's presence, and then Scientologists harassed him, the
Oof,
psychiatrist. So it's
right.
like that's pretty damning. I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean that's peak, Scientology cruise, right?
Hmm.
2005. That's
well,
like the absolute peak of that. I mean, who knows what
it's
goes on
Now
now,
he's
but they peaked
reinvented
it.
himself as the savior of cinema or whatever.
Yeah.
even for Scientologists, it's unusual to like Steven Spielberg mentioned this guy, so go fuck him up. Like
Yeah.
that's extreme even for them. So
I feel
yeah,
like that was
I
the height of them like sort of in the basic culture sphere though, because I mean we still
well they had
mention it, but they seem less.
I genuinely believe that Tom Cruise is insane enough that he actually thinks he was saving Steven Spielberg from the evil aliens by defeating that psychiatrist.
yes, probably. He was also Spielberg is also mad that Tom Cruise kept ranting on set about how children shouldn't be prescribed Ritalin.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely Tom Cruise comes off looking really bad. I think apparently Scientology's influence has waned kind of a lot since then.
No, well, there's been all those documentaries and people have been escaping and
Hmm.
they can't get away with it now that everyone knows what's going on.
And there's always some blind items. They're like, oh, Tom Cruise is gonna defect or John Travolta's gonna defect or something, and that
Hmm.
never happens. But it's like they could.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but in 2005 it was Tom Cruise, Scientologist, and now you don't just
Well,
you're like, oh yeah, he's involved with that. He used to be really involved, and you just don't think about it as much as we used to.
Well, I
we have
think about
other
it a
cults
lot.
of personalities to worry about in today's world, don't we?
I think about Scientology a lot personally, but it's like I think that your average person on the street just thought that Scientology was like, oh, those weirdos.
What's your
It's
Satan
like they
level?
didn't.
What's your OT, man?
420.
All right, blazing. Um, Luke, I guess it's up to you to give people the real general plot summary because it's kind of, the same plot summary for all four, right?
Well, it gets less as we go on.
Okay, you could skip Ice Cube on this plot summary if you want. Go for
Yeah,
the
well,
book.
the plot summary is that um, Martians, or in most of the newer versions, generic aliens, because we know there's no life on Mars, blah blah blah, invade. In the book, they just invade England to use it as a staging ground, and interesting that all the American versions make it global because America sees itself as the whole world. Um, they basically devastate mankind. We cannot stand up to them. There are various levels of. We do put up somewhat of a fight in each version. Like in the book, there's no force field or anything. They can be taken out with cannons, but they're stomping around in mechs and shooting laser beams. So 19th century cannons can't beat them. In the modern versions, they tend to give them a force field. But then, after humanity is routed, the aliens are defeated by the humblest of things upon the earth, um, bacteria and the common
Ice
cold.
Cube's computer virus.
Don't.
Cannibal Code,
We
baby.
we have to just put Ice Cube on ice until we
We'll put
get
Ice
there
Cube on ice, yeah.
because it.
Spoiler alert:
Yeah.
Ice Cube is just as bad of a person as Tom Cruise is. Well, maybe not that bad, but
Mm.
Are we talking about his character or Ice Cube?
I'm talking about his politics.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I don't know his politics. How nice.
uh,
It's
yeah,
nice not to know people's politics
I'd
sometimes.
love to send you a tweet that you don't want to see, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay. I mean, I'm not that invested in Ice Cube. I still
Um,
like his albums, and I never, I never like family viewing never focused on Ice Cube in my homes.
I 100% guarantee you that somewhere Ice Cube is blaming Steven Spielberg for how badly his movie did, and not because Steven Spielberg is a powerful director.
Gotcha.
uh,
Okay.
Yep.
But
Anyway, I do think that the Spielberg version, even though it is like a global thing, I guess it has to be a global thing. He does a great job of making it small, and it makes sense that we're following like three or four
yeah.
people
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
can't. Because Independence Day, for all it does some things better. It definitely has better looking aliens than this, but it makes it definitely makes it feel like the world is sort of an afterthought and everything's happening in America. Whereas this, since you're seeing it from the point of view of one person, you
Yeah.
can't see everything.
The
And
Americans are
know what?
organizing a counteroffensive.
Yeah,
About bloody time.
this
It'll always be my
yeah,
favorite line in cinema.
yeah.
this
Oh yeah,
The
but you
thing where
have
it
to remember
shows
that
like
Independence Day is a Belgian man making fun of Americans.
that's true. It's also 10 years earlier, and it's not Steven Spielberg. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
the whole shanty town with all the like pictures hung up of "Have you seen these people?" is just so great. Like that maybe should have been more of the movie even.
This is pretty prime hybrid blockbuster where the CG is generally good and there's enough practical stuff to make you go whoa. Because
There
that
the
plane
bit where
crash
the
apparently when the plane crashes on the house, like apparently it
That
was
was
like okay,
amazing.
please they're like okay we will let you do this but please we want to make it part of like this backlot tour like that'll make this if we can make it part of the backlot tour you can spend the money on it. So I believe it was for quite a while.
But
nice.
also there are no corpses on the plane. It's just sort of like this. That was a little bit immersion breaking, where it's just but
They followed the instructions in the video.
yeah, yeah, they all got out. Um, no, but the whole thing where they all have like they're all in shock, and he keeps asking if this guy was on the plane when it crashed, and they ask him if he's on the plane, and
Yeah.
everybody's this. There's a lot of great representation of PTSD and shock in this movie that is usually completely ignored.
The one thing I
And
think this film didn't, well, pretty much all adaptations don't do is the way they show people acting in the crisis is not actually how people tend to act in crises. Like people are
uh,
actually pretty good at coming together and looking after each other. Whereas in these films, it's always like, oh, look how man becomes an animal when he's put in the whatever.
Yeah, the guy pulling apart the windshield with his bare hands was a bit
Yeah, like when
unrealistic.
also like how much faster are you actually going to go in that car than off?
Well, also, and I'm sure you guys were thinking the same thing, the complete immersion breaking idea that there's a mob with 50 people in the US and
No one
Tom
else but
Cruise
Tom
and
Cruise
one
and one
other
other guy
guy,
had a gun.
yeah, have a
Yeah.
gun. It's like, no way. Dude, it would be such a disaster.
We're packing
Um,
heat,
the
yo.
gun would be shot full of the car would be shot full of holes. The gun would be shot full of holes. They'd shoot each other's guns. They'd shoot the pavement. They'd shoot the everything.
An intrinsic, maybe not a flaw in the book, but every film version until the most recent one has the we get stuck in the basement for like 20 minutes vibe, right?
It
It's
works in like
trope.
a book or an audio
That's what I'm
drama,
saying. The book it works fine, but
but yeah, it's pretty dull filmmaking. Yeah,
That
I
was the
think
part I
actually the
fell
Tom
asleep
Cruise
in.
one does it fairly well because the guy he's in there with is a real good creep.
Uh,
Like
Tim
there's some
Robbins
tension
is a
there.
maniac.
yeah.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
about Tim Robbins' performance there?
Oh, it's
He is he
incredible.
Oh,
okay?
he's
Because
great.
he's definitely taken a swim in the river of ham, but that's fine.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, but
fine.
he's doing it well. Like I do not want to be locked in a basement with that man.
But yeah, the George Powell one gets stuck in the basement. The C. Thomas Howe one, which we'll talk about, some just gets stuck somewhere. Well, actually, I do get stuck in a house, so still in a basement. Um,
Yeah.
always in a basement. So that's for me. That's like the main block for watching War of the Worlds. Is like, man, there's going to be that part. Okay, not spoiler. Confession. I just fast forward through the basement sequence last night. It's like I don't want to spend 20 minutes. I like Tim Robbins' performance here, but I don't want to spend 20 minutes in the basement. I want to finish this movie. So
Well,
I did just kind of skip it this time.
Well,
here's
the
my
other thing,
confession. The first time I fell asleep during that part
I
and
could
didn't
see
wake
that.
up.
the
Great
book,
suspense, great Spielbergian suspense, probably best since
Yeah.
Jaws, but it's just like we just saw like five giant set pieces, and it's kind of a weird time to hit the brakes.
the book version uses that basement period to be when they observe the Martians, and it gives you all the sci-fi juice.
Yeah, that's a
But
good idea.
like the we don't need the concept of aliens explained to us anymore. 110 years after the book came out, so it kind of gets wasted.
They don't say the word aliens in that movie once.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
them.
They
they're
came
from
from the
somewhere
ground, right?
else.
And the 2005 when they come, they
Europe?
were already there. So they're
So
not
my
aliens. They've
little
been here
fan
longer than
theory
us.
is that the because the so one other thing I do really love about the Tom Cruise one is the tripod design, and
Yeah.
it looks like biological. It looks partly alive, much more so than the one which they explicitly tell us is partly alive in Ice Cube. Um,
They said it was part biologic, part
part
mechanic. It was,
cyber.
yeah, like you mean a cyborg? Anyway,
It's
we'll get
called
to
an
that.
angel. Get over with.
It's a
Um,
cyborg. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
so what I like about the Tom Cruise one is my implication is that they just send them out as like seeds, and they grow underground on planets, and then they can beam down if they decide they want that planet.
Right. Well, they activate it with lightning, right? Isn't it how
No,
it
no,
works?
no. They teleport down in the lightning.
Oh, they're going down to the machine. Okay, sorry, I
She shows
got
you
that
in
a
slow
little.
motion in the
Right,
TV
right,
station.
right. Yeah, that's in
it
this short scene. Things are going crazy.
the CGI hasn't. I didn't think it aged super well. It of course does look much better than the Ice Cube version or the Asylum version.
It looks
Um,
really good in most of the wide shots. There's a
yeah.
couple of close-ups that don't work.
I was
There's a
gonna
shot
say,
where the camera is like following Cruise and you can see the tripod's little tentacles that looks
yeah.
fucking dog shit.
When he's in the basement and he's just hitting the tentacle with like an axe, that looks terrible. But no, Spielberg knows to keep them shrouded and put like
Hmm.
fog over a couple of the straight ahead shots, which is feels almost like a lost art because
Yeah.
Marvel used to do that, and eventually they stopped doing it. And guess what? Everything looks worse because they
Well,
just don't bother hiding it anymore.
that's because people don't bother planning out and making films with filmmaking anymore. Godzilla minus
Yeah,
one looks fucking incredible, and it was made on a
yeah,
fret like 1% of the budget of a Marvel film because the director understands effects and took his time putting the shots together in advance.
yeah.
What's
Well,
the budget difference between that and the last Hollywood one? It's something
Oh, it's like
completely
10% of
insane.
the Hollywood one.
Yeah, and it
I
looks
think it was
10
like
times better.
35 million
Yeah.
or
Okay.
something. It wasn't. it wasn't a trivial amount, but it was definitely I don't know, but who cares how much it cost? It was a great movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
It could even if it looked bad, I would still love it because it's just a
Yeah, it's
But
really
it
actually a good
doesn't. It looks
film.
amazing. So that's the thing where it's like, yeah, plan your stuff ahead and you're good to go. I guess David Fincher still does that when they let him make movies. So
yeah, or like I don't know, Stephen Chow, like his last couple movies didn't look
that
great, but
said,
they're
I
just
actually thought Mank didn't look that good.
hmm.
Maybe it's like shot on the wrong camera or something. I don't know.
Would you say it looked a bit manky?
It looked a bit manky. No, it didn't look manky enough. Manky to me sounds like humid and sweaty and evil, whereas Mank looked too sterile or something.
Manky just means gross in British
Yeah.
slang.
Oh,
I
I
know. I'm just
don't.
no. I'm literally saying we need more
Oh,
Mank and Mank.
oh, it says the budget for Godzilla minus one is 10 to 15 million. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was less than I thought even. Okay.
That's why that movie is so amazing. It's like it knocked out of the
That's
park that 150 million, like I don't remember anything except for the arm sling about that last was that the last US monster movie?
Oh,
the
the
last US
Godzilla
ones.
X Kong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
there
man,
is a lot I remember. I love that
I,
film.
No, I
there's a
had fun
lot to
He
watching
love in
picks
it.
up
that,
the
dude.
baby Kong and beats up the other Kongs with it.
Dude, the scene where it's just Kongs fighting each other is like one of my favorite things I've ever seen. I mean that
I
that
had a great time
that was a
watching. I'm just
use of
saying,
money.
as a movie, Godzilla minus one blows it out of the water so
Oh,
hard.
yeah,
Of
of
course.
course. Like, it's not even up for debate.
Yeah, that's my point. I'm not trying to slam the American version completely because it is fun. But which
Well,
one am I
that's
going to rewatch anytime in the near future? Well, that's clear.
well, I mean, we'll
Well,
see
unfortunately, it's the
if
one that I can easily get hold of in English.
the whole thing is the American one that you speak of is something like what the eighth sequel to the 2014 movie. So
I've
it's a
lost
different
track.
scale. It's a
Yeah.
different scale because this is an origin story. You compare this to Gareth Edwards' 2014 Godzilla, which is not as good, not nowhere near as good as Godzilla minus one. So
But it's
there you
more
go.
comparable, but yeah, still not
Yeah.
even close.
I like it a lot more than the 2008 Godzilla or the Attack
2008?
of the
2008?
Monster.
You mean
1998?
Oh, sorry,
98?
1998. Wow, yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
The
Okay, that's
Simpsons
I
one.
guess
So
that's a
let's go
palate.
back to War of the Worlds.
Yeah, that's a palate cleanser
Okay.
enough that I guess we start talking about the
So let's talk about the
Asylum one.
other two 2005 ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So there's
Asylum ones
the
we'll get to.
Asylum one is I actually did see this back when it came out. It's a well, that's what the Asylum did, right? They brought out catch-in movies when other movies were coming out.
Yeah.
And these are the Transmorphers guys, laterally the Sharknado guys.
These are men crying together. That's the C. Thomas Howell one. Um,
But
So I watched the wrong one. I watched an Asylum film from like 2021.
oh, what's this?
War of
It's
the
War of
Worlds,
the
The
Worlds
Attack.
Annihilation or something.
Oh,
It's not
you can
even on my
tell.
list.
Okay, you can tell us
It
about
was
that one.
it was boring, and I watched the first like 45 minutes of it because I just ran out of time. I was like, fuck it, I'll watch one of these things. And I thought I was watching one of the ones that Luke wanted us to watch,
Oops.
and I was not.
Luke, are you familiar with the movie Soul Man?
No.
Okay, that's
I
C.
am.
Thomas. I know you are. C. Thomas Howe, the star of the 2005 Asylum War of the Worlds, has one. I would say like he's basically a pretty. He is a decent actor, and everyone else in the movie you could like sucks, right? Which is kind of funny. But Soul Man is a movie from '86, I believe, where he plays a white college student who goes to university in blackface so he can get like minority scholarships.
Wow.
And look up the poster of the movie if you want. You're like, oh my God. In fact, do that. Soul Man 1986 poster because they put him on blackface on the poster, and you're like, I mean, 1986 was a weird time, man. Disney was re-releasing Song of the South in theaters. Soul Man was a blockbuster hit. So anyway, that just whenever I see him in anything, I'm immediately like, that's Soul Man, isn't it? That feels wrong.
My an old band I used to have had a song called C. Thomas Howell Howl.
C. Thomas How. Okay,
It
I just
used
had
to
to work
be
it out.
C. Thomas Howell
Uh,
Howl.
yep, there
I
you
guess you
go.
would hear him. I guess you would hear him howl, so that doesn't really work, does it?
And when I was 8 years old and that movie first came out, I actually was confused by that poster, like extremely confused because I didn't know what
Leslie
blackface
Nielsen
was.
and James L. Jones.
I guess he's the dean. He seems like he'd be the dean.
Damn.
I just remember that being like an 80s movie, and I don't remember much about it except for that, you know, It was like, wow, someone shouldn't have
Wow, it
made
was a
this.
major hit. 4.5 budget and 35 in the bank. So yeah, guess who's coming to college? I mean, holy, it's like I think our culture is just like collectively decided to forget this movie exists because it's easier that way.
The first
The,
review
the
says
one the one you
controversy
watched,
aside.
Mark, is like so forgotten. It's not even on Wikipedia's list
It's
of War of the
not.
Worlds movies.
It's not.
How did you
It's
end
like
up
a
there?
2.1. I just looked at IMDb. It was like movies like this under the Ice Cube one, and it was like the first one. It has a picture of the guy who's the star of it who looks terrible. I don't know. It looks like someone
He looks like
who
shit.
doesn't know what people are supposed to look like did
He
his
looks
like
like Latter
eyebrows.
Day Seagal.
Yeah, his eyebrows don't look like they look like little tiny triangles. I don't know
There's Mark
why.
body shaming people.
I'm eyebrow shaming. And I guess they did
Eyebrow
a
shaming.
sequel called War of the Worlds Extinction that also has that same guy on
Oh,
the
well, I guess
front
it
of
was
it.
success then. So how
But
was it? How
he
much
was
of
I
it
mean,
did you
bad. He
watch?
was a
Did you watch
bad
the whole thing?
actor.
Ooh.
Whoever that guy is, I told you I watched like the first 45 minutes of it.
And nothing happened,
It
you
was
said?
just generic War of the Worlds type stuff happens.
Yeah, having watched three of these movies in the past few nights, I guess I'm tired of watching people just run around forests for a while.
Yeah, low
It's
budget War of the Worlds is.
I love
it's
it.
like
There's
a
five shots
Well,
of them.
zombie.
so to go back to the original, the 2005 Asylum one, it's in the
Uh-huh.
modern day, but it's just doing the beats of the book. He sees the astronomer at the start. He goes on the run. He ends up with a soldier. He ends up with a preacher. The aliens will die of the cold. The end.
Like it's
The difference is he has a wife and son he's trying to get to, and they randomly show you the wife's tits at the start of the film just to get you on board.
oh yeah, nothing really happens after except gore, right? They don't even drop
Like yeah,
F-bombs.
there's not even much gore. It's like it would be like a
Burnt out
maybe
bodies
like a PG-13 movie, but they're just like, it's the Asylum. It's going straight to DVD. We might as well put some tits at the
in
start.
the first 30 seconds, yes.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what? Huh?
because he's not even like
He's
a
just changing. It's just
Lothario
like
character. It's like he's meant to be like a family man.
no, she's just changing. There's nothing
Yeah,
particular. I mean, she makes a pass at him or whatever. Or no, she doesn't. I don't know.
he
It seems
jokes
like they
that he's
don't.
making a pass at her as the.
Right, there we go. But it seems they're not so frisky these days.
I'm gonna put in the chat one of the posters for the sequel to the movie that I watched, which is War of the Worlds Extinction. I'm gonna see if this picture. God damn it! I'm gonna see if this picture makes any reminds anyone of anything.
Anyway, I did read the book. I was probably 25 years. I was probably 20 years. I have read the book at some point, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was definitely picking up the Asylum one was a little more book reporty, which is the smart thing to do if you're making that movie, you know?
Well, because then there's the Pendragon Pictures film, which was actually in pre-production for a while and would have been bigger budget if Spielberg hadn't basically. Um,
Kneecapped him. He sent his guys
yeah,
over and kneecapped them.
he's like, no, actually, I want to make War of the Worlds, and then you can't fucking compete with Spielberg and Paramount. But this one, with the version released in 2005, which I haven't seen, is fucking 3 hours long and a straight adaptation of the book set in like late 1900s. Like it's a period
Hmm.
piece, fucking Pride and Prejudice book report movie.
With no one I know starring in it. Just
Yeah.
looking at the cast list.
Um, but then he brought out like a director's cut at the end of that year, another shorter cut a year later, and then in 2012, War of the Worlds: The True Story, which is it's just like shots of an old guy being interviewed, cut with scenes from the movie, um, with like a grainy filter over them. It made me glad I didn't watch the full 3 hour movie because the acting is horrendous.
Okay, well, glad
Um,
Three
I
hours.
and
got a block.
it's basically an old guy, and then also he sounds very similar to the narrator from like Ancient Aliens. It's just those two taking turns reading lines from the book, and then sometimes it shows you footage from the movie.
So
Like
it's like that.
if you were teaching War of the Worlds in school, this is probably the one you would use.
It's like that reboot of the Transformers animated series where it was framed by Optimus Prime telling a child
Yeah,
stories.
like that.
Do you guys see
Except
the
it does it
picture?
consistently, not like
Yeah. You guys see the
Oh
picture
yeah,
I
yeah,
sent
yeah.
in the
Now I see
chat?
a notification. Let's see.
Yeah, they're not even trying to make it War of the Worlds. It just looks like
Oh yeah,
Independence
yeah.
Day,
There you
except
go.
for the
That's
ship is
Independence Day.
blowing up the planet instead of a building. But yeah, I think War of the Worlds is like
Oh
it's
yeah, that's exactly an Independence. That's even the same font.
yes, it is. Um, this is probably a bad metaphor, but because it's like War of the Worlds is so much older, but it's like a zombie movie where, of course, zombies are generally pretty cool, but it has to be about something it can't just be about aliens.
Yeah, I
It has to be
definitely
about something
started getting
else.
zombie movie vibes once I'm in movie three of watching these, you know?
Yeah, there's a formula, and
It creeps
yeah,
in,
it's
yeah.
cool.
But let's see. So Asylum Pendragon, I feel like we gotta give him some note, but I do like how they just have five shots of them walking through a forest, and then it's like, oh, let's lay out five, makeup corpses, skeletons, and we'll walk by that, and that'll be enough to
I
represent
was
carnage.
the one bit I was amused by when I was watching the Asylum one is there's obviously the famous scene from the book and all versions of the film. It's like, the the great stampede of humanity leaving London. And it's just like 20 people on a dirt road because they don't have the budget for a great stampede of humanity leaving the city.
Yeah, Spielberg could do that. And
Yeah.
also, watching these in such close proximity, because when he finally gets to Washington, D.C. at the end of the Asylum, the Capitol building has a big crack and the Washington
Yeah.
Monument's half. And then near the end of the Spielberg one, here's Washington. It's intact. I was like, wait a minute, didn't all that already get destroyed? So it's just, having like multi-film chop.
I do remember Spielberg making a point of at the time like he didn't want to do a lot of alien invasion cliches, so he didn't want to have any um famous monuments getting destroyed. He wanted it to be more about humans than that. Because if you think about it, in Independence Day, only like two human characters die. All the shock is just America's famous buildings getting exploded.
But they got blown up so good.
I, there,
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Cruise walking into the house with ashes that are like
Yeah,
ashes of
that's the human
vaporized
bodies on him.
humans, and he looks in the mirror and realizes what's going on is like one of the most effective,
Yeah. Oh,
horrific things
yeah.
I've ever
Oh, and the
seen.
bodies coming down the river when his
Yeah.
daughter goes to take a whiz or whatever she's doing. Yeah. Then it's like one body. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, here's like 58 of them now.
Hmm.
So that's certainly what a budget does for you, you know?
Well, also, but not.
But also
Oh
an eye
yeah,
for filmmaking, right? Because the Tom Cruise covered in dust is not high budget, but it was
yeah.
more shocking than anything they tried to show me in the other two movies.
I mean, Spielberg is known for this, but it was also one of those things where he filmed this in like 3 months and it came in under budget. He got this turned around shockingly fast because Minority Report was like I don't want to say the wrong year, 2002, and this was 2003 or something like that,
This
right?
was 2005.
Five.
All three of these are
Okay,
2005.
2003. I think Minority Report was 2003, and this is 2005. That's pretty fast turnaround for this.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, that's kind of Spielberg's career trajectory because Jaws wildly over budget over time. Close Encounters wildly over budget over time. 1941 wildly over budget over time. Oh crap, I better make Raiders a taut film, which he did, and then it was a hit. So that's.
he, yeah, he became known as the guy who could do it under budget
But
and
he
in
started
time.
off as like, just Wonker man.
Well, that's everybody probably. I mean,
Wonker
like,
Man.
I don't know why that's
like
the first thing that came
somebody
to my
has a
mind, but
meeting with
I'm
him, and
kind of
he's like,
glad
"Oh,
it
it's
did.
Wonker Man. Come in, Wonker Man. What do you have to say
What's
about your
happening?
dumb shark movie,
What's
Wonker Man?"
happening?
Oh, no, not the Wonka Man. Fucking hell.
Hey, would you like to direct the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes you're
Uh,
just looking for a word and you create a new one. Although that's
yeah,
a derivative as well. So,
I mean,
yeah.
he has had an interesting damn trajectory. Watch out for Schindler's List like 2 years from now. Whenever
He
we do
hasn't made a
that.
film since The Fablemans. That's insane. That was like 3 years ago. For Spielberg, that's
That's
insane.
not insane. Yeah, that's not insane at all.
No, for
Well, the film he
Spielberg,
made
that's
before
insane.
that was one of the few films I hate as much as Ice Cube's War of the Worlds, Ready
Ready
Player
Player
One.
One.
Yeah, and he made
Yeah.
West Side Story, which is a musical at some point, which I haven't watched but want to because I do love the music from West Side Story, but I hate the original movie.
Mm.
Hmm.
I always forget Spielberg made Ready Player One, probably because I want to.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
I still need to watch The Post. Bridge of Spies. I watch that again.
Did he do Road to Perdition?
No, that's
That
Frank
was another
Darabont who
guy.
did
Oh,
Shawshank, I think.
It just
I've
happens to
never
have Tom Hanks
Tom
in it, I
Hanks.
Yeah.
guess.
I've always wanted to watch that and never watched it.
Tom Hanks in War of the Worlds. How would that have played?
In 2005, I think he's
Not
maybe
bad.
aged out. In 1995, maybe.
No,
I
he's
feel like this guy
again.
needs to be a little
Remember, he's
younger.
not meant to be a running around action guy.
No, but I feel like he's supposed to have like a couple like I don't know. Okay, the son's 18, so
Yeah.
late 30. I feel like Tom Hanks was a little too old by
What about
2005.
Hanks in the basement?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, he'd basically do something similar to Tim Robbins, slightly different
Yeah.
vibe, right?
Hmm.
You'd
No, but the
not
difference would have been you'd have thought he was friendly and trustworthy at first,
right,
and then
right.
there'd have been a turn.
Yeah. Throw John Goodman
Um,
down there. He does that well.
Oh yeah,
uh,
David basically did a film with that, right?
He's done that in 8 films.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I also want to give the script credit for it did a really good job of not like dehumanizing the ex-wife and stepdad, which
Yeah,
would have
that's
been
true.
so easy to do and so common. The guy
Well,
who
what it
wrote
what
that,
it what it did really well was you're like, no, I get why she left Tom Cruise for this guy.
yeah, to be honest, like Tom Cruise, aside from that, I would never drive a muscle car and would and love
I would
hummus.
love to drive a muscle car, and I hate hummus.
Here's
So.
what Tom Cruise should
Well, I would be
hired
I don't
Bill.
hate
disappointed.
hummus. I
That's
just have
sad.
no feelings on it either way.
Yeah, I could live without it, but I'm just saying, like, this is definitely the kind of shitty, like, my kitchen just has condiments in it. I would be this type of ex-husband. So, yeah.
So
Also,
what if Tom Cruise
the
could submerge his
ex-wife.
ego a little bit? He hires Bill Paxton for the lead, and then Tom Cruise is the Tim Robbins role. That could have been fun.
He could have done it,
Oh, that would have been amazing. That
especially
reverse
if like
those two
they did
guys.
the if they did the what was that film? What's Tropic Thunder? They did the Tropic
Yes,
Thunder trick and didn't tell you Tom Cruise was in this film.
Well, he would have
that
been the
would be
producer, so you might have guessed it. But yeah,
You would have known that he was
that
going to
would be
show up in a role like that.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But that would have worked because yeah, like for me, I don't know. I just feel like I keep saying Paxton because last night I just kept mentally picturing, oh, this would be like better with Paxton, or more effective, I should say.
I mean, did you guys look up the guy who wrote the script for this, for War of the
Nope.
Worlds? Um, Here you go. Death Becomes Her, Jurassic Park, Carlito's Way, The Shadow. I don't know. The first Mission Impossible, second Jurassic Park movie,
I guess
Snake
you're talking
Eyes.
David Cope here, not because there's
Yes.
two screenwriters on this thing.
Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man. um, he's Indiana Jones and the King of Crystal Skull, Ghost Town, which I did not like, but he's done some pretty amazing stuff.
There's
He
nothing
wrote
wrong with the Spielberg 2005 War of the Worlds. I wouldn't put it in his
No,
top 5 or 10 movies probably, you know?
I'm just talking about the script. Like there are a lot of things I like about the script, and I just wanted to call out that Spielberg did not write the movie because
Okay.
I've been talking kind of like he wrote the movie.
No, but I mean, Spielberg is a very involved director, right? He's not like he
Uh-huh.
takes the script and it's like, okay.
I mean, it plays like the shitheads from Spielberg movies, which is
Yeah.
great.
Well, the 2025 Ice Cube War of the Worlds was written by Kenny Gold. He's known for The Job and Uncross the Stars.
All right,
Here's
is
Here's
it
your
time?
connection.
I'm opening the can of
Here's
worms.
your
Yeah.
All right,
connection.
so
Can of worms
final
open.
ranking 2005 films. Tom Cruise is the best one. I think The Asylum is better than Pendragon, but when I was back in 2005, when I was a teenager who was literally on War of the Worlds fan sites, I was more excited for the Pendragon one because I like the idea of doing the period piece.
Hmm.
The BBC has done a 3-part series I haven't watched yet, which might be better, but I'm kind of War of the Worlds burned out right now. So I'll give it a couple
yeah.
of years.
I did when I was a kid. I did watch the TV series, which was a sequel,
Sequel to the
53
53
film.
movie, yeah.
And the way it works is that all that stuff, the alien ships are all in storage, and then eventually they just start waking up because they got immunity, and then it turns into this whole thing where they kind of are running the whole planet, and there's a bunch of. I
I
remember it
watched
being
a lot of that
gory
show and I
pretty
remember
fun.
nothing about it.
I don't
I
remember
remember
much. I remember
watching
being
a lot.
gory, and I remember it being like kind of interesting, like weirdly political. Like there's a lot of you have to make deals with the aliens and shit like that. Like almost like a mafia series or something. I remember it. That's all I remember.
Hmm.
But the here's your connection between the two films, or the Spielberg and the Ice Cube one, is the director of the Ice Cube film did work on effects on Minority Report, but he's like 30th build in visual effects on IMDb.
Well, okay, that's the seems like the right guy to hire for this one. So,
Yeah, Rich
what let
Lee.
well let's start this one off with its reception. Rotten Tomatoes, 4% of 45 critics reviews are positive. Metacritic gives it 6 out of 100. Mark, you mentioned the 2.5 on Internet Movie Database, which all primed me in to basically sit down and kind of enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, so
I enjoyed the shit out of it, but
if
I
this
had to
movie
stop.
had been on my radar, I've been like, oh, there's a new War of the Worlds coming out. Oh, they're doing like a it's all on Skype thing. That's interesting. That's like the Orson Welles radio thing. Oh,
Right.
that might be good. I would have been furious, but because I knew nothing about this film until it came out and got like 0% in its first week, and I was like, okay, I'm interested.
Like
So
this
I'm
is
very glad I didn't have any hype.
Yeah, maybe that was actually good marketing for it in the end because I don't think anybody was waiting for this thing. It is Universal, distributed by production. Okay, production company sounds like something smaller. I saw something shot in 15 days, 2 years post-production.
There is, I found no data on this at all, but famously, Ice Cube refused to get vaccinated for COVID-19 during 2020, 2021. So he lost a role in a Jack Black movie that was something like because he just would not, and you notice that he's just never on screen with anyone else in this. So it really feels like maybe they just sort of triaged the situation by being like, "Sure, Ice Cube, you could be in our movie." You know what I mean?
Hey, bankable name, man. I mean, you are
There's
like,
even at the very end it shows those photos, which is like no one in these photos has ever met. This is
Yeah.
so bad.
I couldn't tell his panning too quickly.
Yeah, the interesting thing to me is that the Jack Black movie, which is called Oh Hell No, seems to have not gotten made, but it seems to still exist somehow.
Oh, hell
So
no.
it's weird how you can hear about something and then just not get any details about. I guess Ice Cube killed it.
He put it on
Um,
ice.
and he killed this movie too because he's very bad in it, and he also plays like a real piece of shit. I'm just gonna say, even just his parenting skills, like, hey, I'm in your refrigerator. I see that you won't have enough vegetables in your refrigerator. Like, I would fucking go no contact over that. Like that is
I imagine they
just
tried, but unfortunately he's a fucking NSA spook, so they can't.
Yeah, I
what
wrote
a
Cubist in
nightmare.
Baldwin Hasselhoff daughter trauma territory here, you know?
Yeah, and his own son is doing conspiracy theories, and he's like, hell no, you're on that conspiracy theory. I'm like, you're not paranoid? Like, what is even I don't even understand who
Well,
anyone
I was
is.
talking about like the original War of the Worlds, and the Tom Cruise one is interesting because it's a critique of like the imperial state, and if it makes you question your morality and your place in the world. The moral of this movie is that spies looking at your data and Amazon are the good guys, and aren't we lucky they're there to protect us?
Exactly. And
And it's
also,
okay if good people have your data as long as the bad ones get weeded out.
yeah, and if someone in the government is acting, it decides to go rogue and activate some huge database, then they will get arrested and put away, and clearly he's clearly the bad guy and no one will defend him, which is also complete bullshit. Anyway,
It's okay if Batman has your data. Data. They do say data some of this movie. I
we'll
noticed
get to
The
sometimes
that.
the
data,
same
sometimes it's
actress
data.
will say both versions in the same scene.
Yeah, I know. I caught that.
Mr. Data was just off screen and he corrected her.
Mr. Data.
So
One of
yeah,
those is
how
my name, the other is not.
I don't understand how anything can eat data by going up to an SD card and like licking it. It doesn't make any sense.
Though I pointed this out multiple times to Mercy as we were watching it, this film has a lot more in common with Michael Bay's Transformers than any version of War of the Worlds. The robots
Sure.
look like they were built on Earth. They do not look alien. They come down in meteors just like the Transformers. The Transformers were plugging themselves into data and stealing stuff in that first movie. The whole shtick was that they're like a mix of machine and, but like it's kind of a more biological version of a machine. And then also like they get defeated by human soldiers and stuff.
uh, the
What's the
there's
Allspark
plenty.
then? The Cannibal Code? Is that the
Yeah,
Allspark?
I guess
They have
an Amazon drone,
I guess that's
the
more
data.
the
No, the Allspark is
Independence
the
Day
data
part.
they're here for, right?
Yeah.
the Goliath. Yeah, so there's it's very insane how much this is just looking at a computer, but it seems like whoever made this has no idea how computers work.
Hmm.
It's the stuff like when Facebook is deleting, when they're eating his Facebook data, it's like you see the pictures disappear as he's looking at it, and Facebook sends a notification that says your data is deleting.
It's even better. It says your memories are being deleted.
Although I have had like when I'm doing a search, like trying to look through a junk folder on my phone, I'll do a search and then the things will come up and then it will start deleting. That's annoying.
Well, does it do a little pop up where it says your files are deleting?
No, I don't get that. They just start vanishing.
It's
So,
it's it's just sort of and anything, all sorts of things happen instantaneously. Like the
Mm.
cannibal code works instantaneously. Just eating. I don't understand if they're eating data. Like you can copy data. Like how do you eat data in a way that makes the data go away? I don't that doesn't make any sense already. Um,
You're giving
the
it too
ones
much thought, Mike.
I that's what I do, man. The scientists keep saying they're a hybrid organism, biological and cyber.
Yeah, like biological and cyber. That was my long distance girlfriend in high school.
yeah.
And my very favorite thing in the whole movie is when the president does his big speech, which is wrong because the
Yeah,
subtitles do not match what he says. He
and what he
says
says is a bad. It does not make sense.
he says I see no
They
other
fixed
option
it.
to initiate, but he says this plan is humanity's last chance. I see no other option to initiate this war of the worlds to save us all. And then it cuts to Ice Cube going like, "Yeah."
But the subtitle is, "I see no other option but to initiate
But
this or else," which would have made sense.
the guy, whoever was playing the president, was like slurring his speech. I think he was just drunk. I think he was just a
Well, he has a
guy.
lot of
They
pressure
came.
on his shoulder as the president with an alien invasion.
I don't. That's unrealistic.
You'd hit a bile jacket too at that point, right? Um, oh, what the fuck was I going to say? I had something. Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, I guess one of the, and I said the problem with the other films is getting stuck in the basement, where the entire film is stuck in the basement.
Yep.
He even tries to get out of
Yes,
the basement once and it doesn't work.
They
huge
should have
problem.
got R. Kelly to do the soundtrack.
And the whole incredible thing where the entire plot hinges on he has to get this drone in order to put the thing in, and then after all that, and he's like has seconds left, he's like, "Damn, my password doesn't work." Like, dude, you were fired fucking 2 hours ago. You know that your password shouldn't work. Like, how stupid is that?
No,
Trying
I
not.
got the notes here. At least all the financial data is gone. Maybe Data Man should have kept a fucking backup of Facebook shit. Yeah, it's all pretty. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
Skinwalker
this.
Ranch was listed in the conspiracies. I like that.
Yeah, this
Oh
film is
yeah,
a good reminder to keep back like physical backups of things you care about. Don't trust the cloud.
yeah. Yeah, then and what's his son's name?
Don't
Like
trust the
Dave?
cube.
Dave,
Is
Dave.
yeah,
the
Dave's friends.
disruptor.
Dave's friends are all have like one of them's named Thelma and Louise, and then there's that whole sequence where they all get blown up. Like somehow the aliens instantly find out exactly where they're gonna blow all of them up, and then it turns out Dave's okay, and he doesn't give a shit that any of his friends are dead. They're not mentioned at all. He's like,
He's
"Yeah,
never met him in real life.
fine. I
Maybe
was
they were
just
doing the same trick as him. Maybe
yeah,
they're fine.
yeah." I prefer to think that he hates his friends, but or doesn't
There was a
care.
brief moment where I was saying like, well, at least this one had the balls to kill the son, but nope, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No,
It doubled
they didn't
down on
kill
that
any.
on not
And
killing the son.
And am I crazy? But they didn't say anything about the daughter going into labor, and then suddenly it was like the baby is delivered, right? Like she just
Yeah.
I
had
don't think she didn't go
a
into labor. She just got stabbed.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
does.
she
She
had a
does
baby.
have. Yeah, she had a baby, and she has
Getting stabbed it
massive
makes you
leg
go into
trauma.
labor.
Hmm.
Huh? I
Getting stabbed.
didn't even notice her having the baby, and I was watching this film. properly.
No,
So
I think it is just like she had it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the end of
we're
it.
here and we're the safe with a baby boy said whatever text message or WhatsApp message or whatever
oh,
the hell the
yeah,
thing
I think
he
that
was
was
using.
like post crisis.
No, well, but it was like right after. It was like
Yeah.
during. It was like right after the aliens blew up. They were
But
like,
Well, I
that
mean,
kid's
yeah, but I think this film just has a very poor sense of pacing. Like, I think that's meant to have been time passing
so you
in a
don't like when
montage.
they take a minute so you can write an email.
well, there's also you also read the message that Ice Cube left as if he died and then he's not dead and
Yeah.
he's gonna be the disruptor now or disruptor senior or whatever the fuck.
They could have Bruce
But
Willis did
publicly.
Armageddon, you know. Bruce Willis had the balls to die.
um yeah. Then Aerosmith plays. That could have happened.
Oh yeah, and the president, yeah, this one did have the optimistic view that Biden would have gotten another term because they're definitely Biden coding their president.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So hell, maybe we
Listen
should give
here,
him that.
Jack. I have no choice to initiate the War of the Worlds.
Yeah, so they were optimistic in that respect of the word, but wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if it was this president that we have now, it would be like in all caps, like foolish, lazy aliens don't understand the wrath of the now we have the Department of War. I
Can't
don't
even
know.
deal with
They
a
can't
simple
The
even
film
cold.
did
they can't
mention
even
Space
make up
Force.
stuff.
I did see Space
Yeah, they
Force
did.
mentioned several times. I also read
They're
Space
eating
Force
they're
didn't
eating the
work out so
data, they're
well.
eating the emails, they're
Right.
eating the videos, they're eating
Yeah.
the data.
Yeah, I mean, how much did Bezos invest in Space Force? Probably a significant amount. Who the hell knows?
Yeah,
Or
this
he's
whole
probably
film.
contracting.
Oh, Chuck Schumer shows up as a heroic character towards the end.
What? I missed that.
It's like Chuck Schumer's the one who brings down fucking Agent Coulson or something. I can't
Oh,
remember what, but his name came up on
huh.
screen. It had him like tweeting
Weird.
at the baddie. Yeah,
That was weird. Coulson's looking pretty good. He's got to be getting up there by now. He's looking in good shape, even though he's evil or whatever. He did good. He was good as evil guy. He just wasn't. He was barely in it.
yeah. He
One
knew
Of
better than to give
course.
this film more than a day of shooting.
Yeah.
So
Among several flaws that this film may have, I did, especially like in the first half, I was like, this film seems to be based on Ice Cube's like dopamine responses. Like when you get a message coming in, you're like, oh, like for you, it's like if you keep getting that like happening every 5 seconds for 30 minutes, maybe it's fun, but you don't vicariously have that for Ice Cube. You don't care when he gets a message.
Well, it's the fun of you. Somebody says, "Hey, I need this car," and you can type like press three keys, and any car in the world will bend to your will. Any car in the world. That's got to be some dopamine right there. Like, don't worry. It's like how when someone asks you to Photoshop something and you can do it in like 10 minutes and it makes you feel so good. It's like that, but for hijacking vehicles.
For Ice Cube, not for
this
you.
film is the
For
promise
him.
of Watch Dogs that we never got.
Yeah, it's like if what if Watch Dogs was like a visual novel, basically.
I
Which
did,
actually that sounds bad.
I did, I did
And it
notice,
is.
Yeah.
yeah. I was
Agreed.
noting how much this film does assume that you know all of the social media abbreviations, which we do at all the point at this point. But for like 10 years, I thought FTW meant fuck the world. So, which kind of works. If people
um
are like, here's my point, FTW, and you're like, fuck the world. Yeah, I thought it was more aggressive than it actually is. So,
there was one that I didn't know. Damn, I don't remember.
in fact, you know what? Fuck the world. Mine's
Fuck the
correct.
world.
Mine's correct. That's what FTW means.
I
I
mean,
mean, Fuck the World
yeah.
is a better title for this film than War of the Worlds.
Hell yeah. Would that make it 20% better if that was the title?
Well,
This should have
that
been
would let me imagine that whoever wrote this was being ironic.
Hmm.
Whereas at the moment, I don't have that. I think this guy genuinely believes that the white hat sat in his office in Washington D.C. spying on us is the good guy. Amazon is the best thing on earth. Technology is going to save us all.
Oh, there's been I'm see if I can find this. There was something where the director came out and defended his movie and I fucking can't find it. Uh
Well, I guess I should ask, is this the most phoned in performance ever?
Every
I mean, yeah,
This is a whole
Skyped
film of
in.
people literally phoning in their performances. Yes.
Okay, just doubling
Oh,
down. It's kind of obvious. Uh, by the
here
way,
we go. Okay, the a producer defended it. He said no one sets out to make a bad movie, period, ever. No one rolls out of bed to go to work for 12, 14, 16 hours a day, sometimes 6, 7 days a week in our case, to make a bad anything. We were only trying to entertain. It's unfortunate that the movie was hated, or group hated, or just piled on top. We have no control over that. You can only look at the end results and know if your effort was justified. And if we ascend to the number 4, number 5, or number 6 most watched movie on Amazon's platform ever, then we have totally been victorious. We intended to make a good movie. I think we made a really good movie for the money we had. We'll be fine.
Pretty rich of anyone involved in an Amazon production like this to talk about people's working hours.
He said basically nothing. I was like, nothing but like, nah, we did good.
No, it was good actually. You're talking about it,
You're good.
so
I mean, they probably did, from people watching it, they probably did like get paid something, or Amazon got paid something, or they're allowed to
well,
make something else, probably.
someone probably subscribed to Prime off the back of this fucking 90-minute advert.
Um, so
Yeah,
this
man, a
did not
drone. I
show in
thought the drone was real.
theaters. This is not a theater
Oh,
movie, just because I don't even know these days, right? So checking that. Also,
um,
because it's streaming, there's no information on budget or box office.
Equivalent to a box office, yeah.
It's just interesting that we don't know what it cost to make this. We don't know what it did. It's just like, here it is. Have fun.
that's that's
Watch
by
it on the
design.
small screen. Yeah, no, I'm sure. It's just noting because yeah, we just did because even the Asylum one would have been straight to video, right?
Hmm.
That
Most likely.
Pendragon one, that show in theaters?
It was meant to show. I think it maybe had a very small release, and it started life as a theatrical film, but then got fucked by Paramount.
Okay. Right, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm watching, I'm like, where did this come from exactly, you know?
This came from Jeff Bezos's checkbook,
Mhm. I thought you were gonna
and
say
no
from
artists will be between that checkbook and the screen.
Jeff
Just
Bezos'
I mean,
business
hell pits.
cunts.
it's just presenting value to your shareholders. That's literally the only. That's
Hmm.
the only thing. The shareholders don't get to see the budget, or maybe the shareholders see the budget and we don't. I don't know how that works, but the shareholders are told, look at how many people are talking about this and subscribing to Amazon Prime. You should invest more in Amazon, and Prime is clearly very valuable. And everyone's going to believe that drones will definitely be delivering packages inside of buildings, because that'll definitely happen. And you can just text a homeless guy $1,000 Amazon
He'll
gift
do
card, and he'll
anything
flip
you
the
want,
drone for
anything.
you.
Be creative.
He won't just take the gift card and run away because there's nothing you can do. All that also happened very quickly, which is ridiculous. Um,
They do it all the time.
I,
NSA, they're ready to
I'm
spring
so,
load. Of course, that was Dave. Dave's also ready to spring load $1,000 Amazon cards to anyone who.
I I dare you to try sending an Amazon gift card to someone and see if you can get it done in like under 5 minutes.
Um, well,
And me, send it to me. Anyway.
we're considering all the War of the Worlds. Which ones are films? Which ones are filth? I mean, the Spielberg. It's a film, right? I mean, we're not
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
discussing
not the
it.
best film I've ever seen, but it's film.
It's firmly a film. Asylum is
The
straight to
one I watched is
video.
Filth.
Okay.
Yeah, Asylum and Pendragon, they're not. They're not film, but I wouldn't quite call them filth. I think Mark put it best when he just said book report. Like
Yeah.
they feel like, you know, they were slavish to the source material to the point of being kind of boring. It feels like they were made to teach this text in a high school. I don't know if anyone is studying War of the Worlds in high school. I hope they are, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah, my high school never we didn't read any of the 19th century sci-fi guys. So,
No, it's a shame. Like,
yeah.
well, yeah, because they don't want you to hear the things H.G. Wells was trying to say.
I definitely didn't pick up on those things when I was a kid, but I also didn't pick up on, I don't know. I read a bunch of Rudyard Kipling when I was a kid, which apparently that has a bunch of like stuff in it that I did not understand then and don't fully understand now
Hmm.
about like colonization and stuff. But I think he is also kind of a bad man. I don't entirely
Yeah,
understand
the
that, so
original
I'm not going to speak
Pinocchio,
about
he's just bitching about Italian politicians, you know?
it. So I have a couple of reviews.
For
Do you
which
Hell
guys
yeah.
one?
want
Cube? Oh, Cube.
you
But by
guys
the way, we
want
aren't
bad
finished. Cube, film or filth?
Oh, like worse
filth?
than filth. Evil. Like a
Marketing
crime
filth.
against humanity. I
It's
genuinely think people involved in that film deserve to die. Like Jeff Bezos, I would assume his hand is in there somewhere. He's one of the most evil and heinous people on Earth. He's the exact opposite of what the point of War of the Worlds is supposed to be about. And I think not only is it not a crime to kill him, if you meet him and don't kill him, that's a sin. It
I
is
mean,
immoral to not kill any billionaire you meet.
and really like Amazon is more evil than Scientology, even though Scientology does directly kill people.
Yeah.
Like Amazon does more harm, like
This
overall.
man is fucking enslaving disadvantaged people and making them piss in a bottle so that he can undercut wholesome booksellers and fucking put the high street out of business. And he's here telling you like how great he is and how he's going to save the world. And look at this smiley, happy guy driving a truck, flying a drone, marrying a pretty lady.
Scientist,
Yep.
brilliant
No,
scientist.
fuck this guy. Fuck this film. Fuck the American empire. America perpetrates like 1,000 9/11s a day. America, like the American war on terror has killed like 5 million Muslims. It's a genocide. So, like, America deserves the tripods to come down and burn everything.
All right. Well, I'm gonna read this review where someone comes down and burns Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. So
Well, the good
awful.
one.
No, we have to do it. It's
I
the
know, I know.
format.
It's the premise.
The silliest film that I've ever seen. I am now thinking about the hours that I'd spent for that catastrophe. Has no plot, has no music, has no brain. You don't even know why those aliens came to Earth and why did they left, except that narration at the end. Is Spielberg so incapable of showing it in the film? Steven Spielberg, you had disappointed me. 1 out of 8 found that helpful.
Okay, I have a 10 for the Cube.
Yeah, I've
Hell
got one
yeah.
of those, but go ahead.
Wonderfully surprising. I'm old, and I have seen all of the War of the World movies. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much, but I like Ice Cube, so I watched it. It was wonderfully surprising entertainment. Ice Cube is cast differently than usual, and this previously and often told tale is presented with an updated and true depiction of our current computerized world. Held my interest the entire time, exciting, touching real family values portrayed in our modern world. I really enjoyed it, and that says a lot for a story I've seen redone so many times. Creative special effects, creative setting, warm, engaging performances, great movie. I assume Amazon wrote that, like the Amazon like old ones
I mean,
AI itself came in and wrote
bots
that. I'm old.
bots
I'm
are
one of the old ones.
bots are definitely here. Bots have been writing reviews for longer than we've been doing this podcast.
Yep.
Okay, not as bad as they say. The bad reviews of this movie are like a snowball rolling downhill. Fortunately for me, I saw the movie before I read any reviews. I saw it at a time when I had just finished binge watching Animal Kingdom. I had tried to watch several movies on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu, but most of them I did not finish. One day this movie popped up in my feed. I watched it in one setting. I was entertained. I could see that there was a lot of use of stock footage, but it was high quality stock footage. The CGI was good as well. I knew something was off, and it wasn't until I learned that this movie was made during the pandemic that I realized there wasn't much physical interaction amongst the characters. 1 out of 9 found that helpful.
Okay, here's a more I like this.
Okay.
This one's on the snarky side, but they make a really good point. I've never seen a movie this entertaining in my life. The director systematically understands how nothing works, which just isn't possible. You know how they say it's impossible to get every answer wrong on a test unless you know all the answers? Yeah, that's this movie.
It's
Zoom in
kind
and
of true.
test the
Like, he doesn't
movie.
understand how humans work, how the government works, how technology works, how filmmaking works.
Okay. Good movie. Good movie. A lot of negative people here trying to sound like experts. Ice Cube is a legend. The movie is nice. Don't listen to those who say it's bad. Just give it a shot. We all know why this is happening with Cube. There are many reasons that this is happening because it's happening all around the world. 2 out of 24 found that helpful.
Do they mean the real character? Do they mean the character or the actual Ice Cube?
The username is Mohammed IA-080, so it may be that he's trying to imply that it's racism that is why people don't like this movie.
I guess this movie is pretty firmly in like Plan 9 from outer space territory, but it doesn't have the like backed by Amazon thing where Ed Wood is kind of like a independent weirdo making
Like,
weird
we've
shit.
watched bad films and we've been like, we take the Andrew angle where it's like, yeah, but someone's put their passion on the screen and that's fun. Whereas this is like a bad film, but also it's not like a quirky filmmaker's passion. It's the biggest and most evil villain on Earth flexing its enormous financial wealth to try and brainwash the masses.
But it's
Like, there's
also
nothing
very
fun and
funny.
quirky. It's very evil. Yeah, I know.
It's very, very, very funny.
I enjoyed watching this more than Pendragon or Asylum.
This is one of the most fun times I've had watching a bad movie. I don't want to watch it again.
Oh,
But
I don't want it to exist.
So
Well,
that's
no-
different than Plan 9. I've seen Plan 9 an awful lot.
Well, and Plan 9 is good. I'm sorry, it is. I mean, it's the dialogue. Some of the acting is a little stiff, but I think that the movie itself is good. Like it has a framework.
Oh, hell yeah. I, again, have watched many times. If I didn't
it
like it, I
has-
wouldn't watch it many times.
It has more to say than many of the War of the Worlds adaptations do. Well, it's very fitting that we're doing a bunch of War of the Worlds on Luke's birthday, September 11th.
Yeah. It's very fitting this episode where I just said that America deserves 1,000 9/11s. It's coming out on 9/11.
America Luke deserves to live to be 1,000 and see 9/11 happen every year on his birthday.
Happy birthday. I don't know. I
Yay.
guess we're wrapping up then. We did our reviews, we did our stuff. You want to put anything else out on any of the wars of the worlds? Wars of the worlds.
The original is good. I don't know if I've listened to you guys' podcast on it, but I probably did.
Okay, sure.
I'm just saying, if anyone's listening to this and be like, "Oh, I never bothered to watch that one," it's worth it. It's got stuff that it does a different thing than Spielberg does, so it's worth watching both of them. in
If
my
you're
opinion.
only going to experience one version of War of the Worlds, listen to Jeff Wayne's musical version.
Yeah,
They were trying to make a movie version of it, and if that had ever gone off the ground, that would have been the best War of the Worlds movie.
We should hope.
and you can listen to Orson Welles read it, or I think, right? Does that record?
I don't know. I've been curious. I should see if there is a version you can listen to. Again, they could have done something cool with this film where it turns out he's just being pranked. Because it's all on a
that would
computer
have been a
screen.
good ending. That would have been a good ending.
Also, the
It's
film
like-
does, like, the whole film is shown through webcams, blah, 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 until at the end where they need a shot of him putting the USB stick and suddenly it just has a cinematic camera.
Yeah, but I think they broke that. They broke that
They
format.
broke
few
it a couple
times,
times, yeah.
which
Fuckers.
I see it on Spotify. Orson Welles' 1938 War of the World. I swear I've listened to it before, so it
Yeah,
probably
I
does
suspect it is
exist.
possible, yeah.
I probably put on while going to sleep and heard 5 minutes and then fell asleep.
I mean, Orson Welles is I'm just gonna say, great narrator. So I'm sure it's very entertaining too.
Voice will lull you to sleep, though, if given the chance.
Not if he's doing the Unicron voice.
Okay, not that one.
Go to sleep. Or if
uh,
he's like Mrs. Pell's frozen peas.
I think I'll put on Mark today. What should people do if they want to declare war against us?
I think they should go to patreon.com/podcastios and drop a bomb made of money on our Patreon account and make sure there are no survivors.
If you
That's
send
a
me,
lot
if
of money.
you send me a $1,000 Amazon gift card, there is a very short list of things I wouldn't do for you.
We'll if you send Luke $1,000, he'll use it to buy a drone, and we'll take the drone and fly we'll fly an SD card. We'll fly a thumb drive to Ice Cube's house, and the thumb drive will be like "fuck you, anti-Semitic bastard"
It'll just be my
when he
dick
puts links
pics.
in. They'll see his dick pics.
I would love to see a clip of Ice Cube being like, "Oh, what's this? Oh man! Oh
What the
jeez!
hell? Anyway, yeah.
No
Find
way,
a...
no how!" Hey, did you catch that where he said that line twice in the space of about a minute? No one edited
I
this
think I
fucking
remember
script.
that.
Oh, there's the same lines like in several different scenes.
I've seen people online. I didn't spot it myself, but I have seen people sharing like his reaction clips are used multiple times.
Yeah, sure. Hey,
He yelled, "Move, bitch, get out the way" to something, and then his son was like, "Yeah."
I mean, I'm sure this is one of the first, not one of the first, but I'm pretty sure this movie is at least in part made by AI. And I'm wondering what's the first time we watched a movie where it was written at least in part by AI because they wouldn't have told us. And I think it's already happened a lot.
This one feels like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Avatar is going to have like a specific AI not used in this production message at the end.
Okay. Thank you, James.
Yeah, James
I
Cameron, the
think a
only
lot.
producer of good blockbusters in the modern age.
Remember when Late Night with the Devil used AI to design like posters that were like whatever some were cutting to commercial, and then people
Yeah,
got so mad at them they didn't apologize. I think there's going to be enough pushback that the only people doing it are going to be like scumbags or incredibly powerful
I'm
people.
An
so happy
asylum.
whenever I'm on like scrolling the internet and I see like some clearly AI artwork. Doesn't matter which Facebook group I'm in, the Godzilla one, the Digimon one, whatever. All the comments are just like AI slop. Fuck you, this is AI. Get this shit off my
Yes.
screen. AI slop. No one likes it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dragon
it's a
Con.
bubble and it's gonna burst eventually. I just hope some
No, I
people
think,
can
Pretty
keep their
soon.
jobs after it bursts.
yeah, I think we're getting
Uh,
a nose for this stuff, and I smelled it in this movie. So without any
yeah,
proof, I'm just going to say AI made.
at
It's
Dragon
not. I
Con,
don't
you
even
know,
think this film was made by AI. I think it's just you smelled the same thing, which was that it was made without a soul.
you
It
probably,
could
you
be
know,
made by
you
humans without a soul. It was made by
you can
fucking Amazon vampires. Same difference.
I mean, it was probably someone put a prompt into Chat GPT and then took the Chat GPT script and edited a few things to make it like make sense to whatever their dumb brain
Yeah.
thought made sense, and they didn't fix it all the way, and it still
Well, yeah,
doesn't make
the
sense.
script probably came out too woke for them, and they had to change it because
They're like, we have to insert "move, bitch, get out the way" into the script,
the
and
biggest
also,
laugh I got was when they shot down one of the tripods, and Ice Cube's like, "Johnny!"
oh boy. Anyway, if you are at home spying on your children with your computer, then go fuck yourself and stop doing it.
Now he's making
I
noises that aren't
I
coming
love
through.